Hi everyone, welcome to our Employability Live. Today we're going to be talking about what we would tell our younger creative selves. We've both had different journeys through education, what we studied, and into the creative industry. So I thought it'd be quite fun to kind of look back at our kind of awkward younger selves and what we would say to our younger selves, really, looking back, having the power of hindsight. Yeah, I think for me, it would be definitely to kind of research companies a little bit earlier. I mean, I did graduate. My excuse is that I did graduate before social media. Social media wasn't a thing, so it was a little bit harder for me. We had just like the big manuals that came out of the top 100 agencies and stuff like that to look through. But yeah, I think I just maybe relaxed into the education system a little bit. We're still on, the train tracks, steadily plodding along with my degree. And I kind of think maybe if I'd looked into a little bit more where I wanted to end up, and just have a general idea, I think that would have helped me in terms of when I was producing work at university through each project. I think I could have maybe steered it a little bit better in like what I decided to create, how I decided to show it. It would have given me maybe a little bit more of an industry-led portfolio in a lot of ways. I didn't do that, and it's fine. But I think looking back, that's what I would say to myself, because I think it would just save me a lot of time, a lot of worrying, and yeah, I mean, for instance, I knew that I wanted to go into branding and packaging by sort of my end of second year, I think. And I did my final major project on making a gallery, and I decided to teach myself Google SketchUp from scratch while I was doing it as well, which is mental. So yeah, I think now I look back, I'm like, why didn't I do a branding and packaging project? Because the people coming around at our show would have been looking for branding and packaging juniors, and my project wasn't to do with that subject. So yeah, anyway, that's my kind of take on it. Wendy, how about you?
Yeah, it's a bit of it's a very personal journey, but it can be very random in terms of how you get to where you get. I didn't know what I wanted to be or what I wanted to do. Honestly, I think, coming from, a background where, making the best grades is the most important thing, and doing the right course or getting into the right degree program is kind of like the only thing that you kind of think of. So you never think of yourself and say, oh, actually, maybe I really want to, do something completely outside of the box. I want to do something that no one else has done. I never had that opportunity to explore. So what I would really, would like to have, done, earlier on in my career is to have explored and seen what else does the world have to offer other than, business or being a doctor, being a lawyer or a pharmacist, or, the typical things that people will be like, I'm sure she's one of those. Yeah, so I ended up in business. I ended up doing business management, and obviously, I think it suited me in terms of my strengths and my skill sets. However, like yourself, Sam, I would have loved to have, investigated a bit more about where you work, the culture of the companies that you could have worked for. I'm really, I mean, I must say, I was really lucky to say to find a job in a particular company, which was, I thought, and I still think, they really look after their staff, and it was, really big corporate organization, had a really good culture, really good values. And it really, I think that background helped me to really steer my career in the right way. I was given the right opportunities. and I was exposed to, so many ways of working, and it's just made me very strong. But in terms of, doing something that I would have personally, had an interest in, is an opportunity that I never really gave myself, because I never thought about that. A job at the end of the day is a job. So to anyone thinking of a career, what you want to do, how you want to do it, or what area you want to go into, just have a really, really good, step away from every other thing that anyone else is telling you, and find out what your interests are. And because of my own journey, and looking back at my younger self and wishing I'd done certain things differently, that's the reason why I started Skills Mansion, going into career pathways, having one-to-ones with students and graduates is something that I'm really passionate about. We sit down and we really look at all the things that they've ever thought of, and why they think about those things, and what it is that drives them, what wakes you up in the morning, what excites you. And you really dig deep, and you get to the point where you kind of know where your core interests are, and that's how you begin to discover a bit more about yourself and who you could be as a professional. Then start exploring and looking around you to see what else is available, what kind of career is this, and how will it feel like within my lifestyle. But yeah, it's one of those questions. I think, when you ask yourself, did I make the right decision? um I would say yes and no. I'm sure, everything has worked out in such a way it's all come to a full circle, because I've now found out what my passion, my interest in, and I'm doing it now. I have a portfolio career, so literally my life is split between doing various things that I love. So my day job is something that I know I'm good at. The hobbies and interests are things that I know I've got enough time to do. And then things that I know that I could do to make a difference, are things that I've kind of marked on my, list of things, or bucket list, that I will do in the future. But yeah, it's a really good way to reflect back, I think, when you think, what could you have done better? So the advice I would give to anyone out there is, look and take time to really think, take away all the noise that comes from what other people think you should be, or what even society said you should be, or even the degree that you've studied, or the previous work experience you have. Just take time, step back, and really think again, and use the time to explore and see what else is there. The world is so big, and there's so much, you can do, which isn't, something typical or something stereotypical within a particular sector. So yeah, I think I wish I'd looked around a bit more.
Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? 'Cause it allows you to just prepare, doesn't it? You already have an insight then as to, what kind of, I don't know, software you'll need to have a knowledge of, what kind of skills you'll need to show them when you're applying that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's probably the biggest takeaway by the sounds of it for both of us, isn't it? It's just looking around at what the options are, understanding what you're going to need to show at the end of university. Don't wait until you've actually finished before you start doing that, because it does take time as well to understand exactly where you want to be and what you want to do. So,
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, if you want to learn a little bit more about how you can possibly avoid some of these blunders along the way, or if you want to share yours, then do drop a comment, join our communities, and start a conversation. We'd love to hear from you. So yeah, that's it from us, and we will see you next Wednesday, same place. And we can jump on Instagram now if you want to join us there, and share your thoughts. But otherwise, we shall see you next week.
Yeah, see you all.
Bye.
Bye.